I don't have much time. Listen, I found some things that I really should have left alone. I just wish I could have figured out why. It doesn't make any sense. Oh God, listen, Mark Cuban, he was the one who... Freeze! By the end of this video, you will have fallen in love. Not with me, hopefully, but with a YouTube channel. They've got 30 million likes on TikTok. They've got 67 million views on YouTube. It's a wacky and wild bunch with more personality than you can handle. All the way from sunny California, Almost Friday TV. Basically, they're a comedy sketch YouTube channel with a lot of influence from early YouTube videos. But it's not that simple. I watched every video they've ever made. It was about 3 hours and 40 videos. And these guys are the real deal. They haven't been around for very long, but they came out of the gate swinging. Right from the beginning, they showcased high quality production, well-written scripts, and most importantly, they're funny. They're pretty funny. You kind of need that for a comedy sketch channel. Their long form videos aren't crazy popular, but you've probably seen their TikToks or YouTube shorts because those get a lot of attention. So you may have seen them and not even known who you were seeing.
Who made me have that gay dream about Liam?
So what's so great about this channel that I felt like giving it a little bit of free advertisement? You can call me old-fashioned, but I think YouTube's kind of strayed away from its original purpose. And I think Almost Friday TV's managed to bring that purpose back. Like literally, they sit down and make a video that they feel like making for fun. Like they just make whatever they want and it ends up being good because they're creative, they're funny, and they're entertaining. One of the best examples of one of these videos is called Do You Know Who My Dad Is? Where basically this rich kid is being refused entry to a bar and he's, yelling, do you know who my dad is? Trying to flex his family lineage, I guess. And it starts off pretty standard and he walks away, he's upset. And then this guy comes out of the shadows and he's like, I know who your dad is. And it turns into this crazy like fantasy world building thing where the old guy was like this old wizard and the kid's dad is the king of some long forgotten kingdom or something like that. And then the bouncers that refused him entry were like his brothers. It's just so like detailed. If they were just making this video to like make money or to get famous or something, they wouldn't have put this much detail into these tiny things, but they are so intricate and they're so well thought out. It's clear that they just had fun with it. They were just in the writer's room, like riffing off ideas to make this fantasy story more believable. And yeah, it's a comedy sketch channel, so it is funny, but it's also interesting. So it's nice that they're able to make whatever they want without fear of like not making enough money off it. But it's a little weird that they were able to do that because they have to make money somehow, right? Hi, is this the Almost Friday TV headquarters?
I wouldn't call it a headquarters, but yeah.
So I've just been watching like a lot of the Almost Friday TV videos recently, right? And I just do not, for the life of me, understand where they came from.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Well, like they came out of nowhere with these like really high production quality videos and like really good acting. And they came out of nowhere, so I just don't understand how they're funded.
Sir, I'm sure you understand I can't give you access to our financial records.
Listen, you need to give me access to those records. Something is going on with this channel, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
What was that? What did you just click? Okay, these guys are extremely topical. Every single video is an extremely relatable, like, shared experience between, like, most people. They pretty much all have to do with, like, parties or socializing or just other, like, young people type gatherings, I guess. It's not a very diverse range of experiences, but for the people that it does connect with, it's so relatable. It's crazy. It's not corporate or anything. Here's some of the best examples. When you finally think of a great comeback later in the shower, that's basically about this group of people having an interaction and they all go home and in the shower they come up with some new idea for what they should have said. When you accidentally select meet at door, which is like about Uber Eats, like instead of clicking leave at door, you click meet at door, and it's about how anxiety inducing that is if you weren't expecting it, kind of. Nightmare post game, which shows the worst case goings on of a post game from a COD Zombies style point of view. It's really creative. And when you're trying to leave a party, which is about how you get stuck at a party for too long because you have to dap everyone up before you leave. Like every single one of these things is something that most people, white middle-class college students, can relate to. But they're not just like describing the situation or making this like entirely uncreative docudrama about whatever this relatable situation is. They turn it into this comedy sketch which blows the entire idea way out of proportion. But they do it where it's actually funny, it's still entertaining, and still relatable. Like they keep all three. I don't understand it. And obviously, yes, it is funny, which is paramount for having a comedy sketch YouTube channel. It's just so relatable. These guys are a little too relatable. Am I right? I mean, they haven't missed once. Like, I get that they put a lot of time into writing their videos, but how much time and how many people are working on these videos at a time? I mean, it feels like they have like a research team dedicated to extrapolating like the most perfect relatable scenario possible or something. It could be like an advanced AI, I guess, or something. And maybe they do have a video where they produce sketches written by ChatGPT. And that could have been them like warming us up, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there is something seriously twisted with these guys, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Okay, I have to be honest with you. Everything I've said so far has been done before. Other channels exist on YouTube that make comedy sketches that are relatable. Whatever, it's been done. There's one thing that they do that makes them stand out from everybody else by like a mile. And that one thing is subversion. Subverting expectations. You know what I mean? Basically, like I said, all of their videos start with a really relatable premise. But when I said they blow them out of proportion, I mean like way out of proportion. They set you up with this idea of what you're gonna see in the video and then completely stray from that almost instantly. But somehow they still retain that core relatable experience that they're basing the whole sketch on. For example, what starts off as a guy revisiting his high school basketball court to relive taking the game-winning shot turns into a man reliving killing someone at that same basketball game, going to jail, escaping jail, and ending up back in that basketball court, restarting the sketch. And he's like miming it the whole time with invisible people. And then he gets tackled by SWAT officers. And it's insane and like crazy, but it is funny. And it retains the idea of a guy kind of reliving his past and it being kind of embarrassing. Pretty much all of their sketches follow this same basic formula. And it constantly leaves the audience on their toes. For me, I feel like a lot of sketch comedy is really predictable. Once you get a sense of what the comedian is trying to get across, you kind of know generally how the rest of the sketch is going to play out. And it can be fun for a bit, but it eventually gets really exhausting. By usually, but not always, wildly straying from these logical confines that we're so used to in sketch comedy, they constantly keep us guessing about how it's going to end or what's going to happen to the characters. They keep you interested in the story because you never actually know what's going to happen. And that logically simple yet practically insurmountable writing process is what makes them really shine. The best part about all of this, just to emphasize, is that they retain the main idea of their sketch, even though they stray so wildly from the original idea. The best example of this is in their sketch called One Beer and Then I'm Going Home. The relatable experience in this one is just wanting to get home at a reasonable time, not be hungover the next day, whatever. So the main character agrees to stay for one beer and ends up getting super drunk and being this just monstrous nuisance on everybody else at the party. So everyone at the party ends up leaving the house and going down the street to a bar just because of how miserable this guy is making everyone. That's when we learn that the main character was faking it the whole time. He wasn't actually drunk. He was just acting drunk to get everyone to leave so he could actually go home at a reasonable time. So even though he's like going insano drunk mode, like, you know, smashing shit and like running around, and it's like way over the top, it still retains that idea of I just want to go home. Like I don't want to stay and go crazy. And it's relatable in the sense that he actively does all the things that he didn't want to do while being drunk. He just does it on purpose to leave early. But that idea of being afraid of being annoying is preserved. I mean, there's not much else to say. It's a masterclass. If I had $1 billion, I'd invest in these guys in a second. They haven't been around for very long. So you may have seen them and not even known who you were seeing. High quality production. They have to make money somehow, right? It's just so relatable. White middle class college students. If I had $1 billion, I'd invest in these guys in a second.
Stand in my motherfucking closet.
If I had $1 billion, billion dollars. How much do they pay you?
Excuse me?
Don't think I don't know what's going on. They're an industry plant.
What the hell are you talking about?
Almost Friday TV. It's Mark Cuban. He's behind everything. He took these random kids, he gave them a writing team, a research team, a production studio, all the money they could ask for.
Why would he do that for some random kids?
I don't know. Billionaires love nepotism. I bet they're like his nephews or something.
What if he just thought they were talented and invested in them?
They're It's unnatural. They're too good. It was impossible for them to fail.
Mr. Clark, did you show up to the Almost Friday media office last Tuesday?
Yeah? I was looking for the truth.
Well, the woman that you spoke with said you were looking for financial records from the company. Something that you're not entitled to.
Yeah, I guess I might have gotten a little heated. But I was looking for information. This is really important. You would never understand.
And then, when a responding officer arrived on scene, did you punch him in the face and say, and I quote, "You'll never hold me down, piggies. I'm gonna blow this whole city to pieces"?
I meant like blow this case wide open. You know?
When you get out of prison, find a therapist. You have trust issues.
Okay. I've done a lot of research while I was in prison, and I've successfully concluded that Almost Friday TV is not an industry plant. You know, it's kind of funny, actually. I could have just Googled Almost Friday TV and not had to go through what I went through for 4 years in prison. So Almost Friday TV is a brand owned by Almost Friday Media, a group with more than 18 brands and over 10 million followers across their channels. It's comprised of 8 core members, notably Will Angus, Liam Cullen, Billy Langdon, Chet Collins, and Eilis Patton. So yeah, they have a stream of money coming in from other sources, but that doesn't necessarily make them an industry plant. The same people behind the content on this channel have also been behind pretty much all the content on all of the 18 other brands that they own, such as Friday Beers, Almost Friday Podcast, and the Almost Friday TV TikTok, which has a lot more videos on it. Does it feel a little bit corporate? Yeah, I guess. But does it mean they're talentless husks using limitless money to artificially produce whatever video they want? No, not in the slightest. This group has been making videos for years, and they've had this much success because of their skill, not in spite of it. Oh, but why do you keep mentioning Mark Cuban? I hear you. I can hear you through the camera. If you go to Mark Cuban's website right now, all the way at the bottom right, Almost Friday is listed as one of the companies he owns. Also, this website called Crunchbase, which basically shows funding data for different businesses, has Mark Cuban listed as helping towards a $6 million investment round for Almost Friday. There's a couple things to note though. One, Mark Cuban owns or partially owns a bunch of different Instagram accounts, and Friday Beers started Almost Friday. So he probably knew about them from Instagram when he was investing in Instagram accounts, and when they had this new business, he was already there to help. And the other thing is, he's not like behind the scenes pulling all the strings. It's not like his channel being channeled through these random guys. This is still their videos, and all it really means is that he's rooting for them. He's willing to give them money because he knows they're gonna have success. And like I said, if I had $1 billion, I would do exactly the same thing because these guys are amazing and talented. I actually first heard about Mark Cuban's involvement from this Reddit thread. I think people like the idea of there being some like evil rich mastermind behind the scenes with nefarious purposes, but in reality, Mark Cuban's involvement pretty much comes down to this 5-second cameo from one of their videos, and the channel really is just a couple guys making sketch comedy and stuff.
A lager to quench any man's thirst, please. I got a gun, you fucking junkie, okay?
I want to be super clear, ignoring all the stuff about me escaping the police, I genuinely do think these guys are like one of the best channels on YouTube, and it's not even close. They're creative geniuses, and they're making some of the best content on the entire internet right now. My friend actually told me about them at first, and they make a video every Wednesday. So every morning, he and I would watch their video and then talk about it with each other because we thought it was such a good YouTube channel. And I'll be honest, it does feel a little strange giving this massive brand free advertising from my relatively minuscule YouTube channel. But honestly, I just like learning about things that I'm interested in and sharing them with other people. That's all I'm trying to do. I know they've already had massive success, and I hope that continues. And I hope I've brought to your attention a new YouTube channel that you can start watching, and maybe you'll enjoy it as much as I did. Links below with videos and websites I referenced with timestamps. And thank you very much for watching.